We're continuing on from where you finished with your PrattLast Associates database. I'm going to enable content and make it a trusted document. Again, access can bring with it some risk of viruses, but if we know where our files come from, we should be all right. In this module, we're going to use the PrattLast database, and we're going to add several new fields that require special data types. And we're going to create a form that incorporates data from two different tables. You remember we had the account managers and the accounts in the last module, and those are related so that one account manager might have many accounts that belong to that account manager, but each account is only related to one account manager, so there's not two managers working on one account, but each account manager can have lots of different accounts that they're working on. The form that we're going to make will show one account manager at a time, but show all the accounts that that person is responsible for. We're also going to do some queries as well. I'm going to get you started and we'll see how it goes. Imagine we've been using this database that you created with the account managers for a while. Now we find we need more information about our account managers, so we're going to go back and add more information in. It's always a tough thing to do when you want to know ahead of time how many fields and records you might need in your database, because going back can be kind of a headache, but hey, we've got a plan, so no worries at all. For this assignment, you are going to need your data files. There are pictures and stuff that we're adding in, so you'll use quite a few different items for this one. You'll need your zipped access data file. Let's go ahead and open up the account manager table in design view. So I'm clicking the design view button. Again, that's a toggle button, so I can see I'm in design view. If I click on that, I'm in data sheet view. So toggle button, design view. This shows us the fields that are currently in this table and then the kind of data that we're containing in there. So a last name, short text, for example. But a salary is currency. The date they started is a date time field. You have extra information over here, an extra space where you can add extra information if you want to. And we are going to add a new field down here on the bottom. So the new fields we're going to add are PHR certification, special skills, picture, and account notes. You can catch up with us on page AC 237. I'm going to type those in and I'll be right back. So I just did my data entry there and just tabbed through these other cells right here. PHR certification, we're just going to make that yes, no. So I click the drop down. That's a yes, no field. Special skills, long text. We need more than just the short text space. So you will see that short text is 255 characters and long text doesn't have that limitation on it. All right, a picture is not going to be short text, but it's going to be an OLE object. That means an object for linking and embedding. So a picture, you would be linking and embedding. And then our account notes can be in an attachment if we put a Word document or a PDF in there. So those are our files, and we don't have to add any extra description to any of those. We want to put a phone number in here, and we want it to be here after postal code. So right here, I'm going to right click and insert a row. So I right clicked on start date to insert a row here, and this is going to be phone number. And Access has this cool thing when you're looking at phone numbers, is that you can make it, you've probably filled out forms online where you have a certain way that you have to fill in information. So for phone numbers, it'll put in parentheses where you need them and hyphens where you need them. Access does the same thing. We're going to set that up. It's called an input mask. We leave the data type as short text up here, and we'll come down below in this input mask spot. We've got three little dots. We're going to click on the three little dots. Access needs to save the table. Okay, save the table. And we want a phone number. You'll see what the different input masks are. Social security number, a zip code, an extension number, password will be asterisked, and then some times and dates. So if we click that, we can try typing it in right here so you can see how it would work. So that works for our purposes. We'll go next. And then it's showing you what it's going to look like and what character do you want to be displayed in the field. Right now it's an underline. You can have a number there. I think an underline is probably the least confusing for people. And we'll say next. And then how do you want access to store the data? You can store it with the symbols like this. If you store it without the symbols, then it just saves space. So that's the default and also what the book recommends. We're going to not store the information with the symbols. And then anytime you're finished with something, you get these flags like you got to the finish line of a race. Yay! And you can click finish. Now let's see what this all looks like when we go back to data sheet view. So I'm going to stay in the account manager table and click on my button here so I can switch back to data sheet view, and I will save the table. We like those kinds of messages. You'll see we have a blanks here for phone number, and then also those other fields we created. Here is our yes, no field checkboxes for the PHR certification, blank area for special skills, and then the attachment, that was our notes spot for attachments, and then our picture we will put in a minute. Pop on over to page AC 241 to enter your phone numbers. You can use your down arrow to move down to the next cell to enter the rest of your telephone numbers. So then continue on entering the rest of your information here. There's one PHR certification, and then you're going to enter in the special skills. We're going to change some rows and columns and then add in our pictures. So I'm going to do data entry and I'll be right back. You might know why it is easier to use a form rather than enter information in a database now. So we're going to resize that special skills area this way and then this way so that everything shows up. It looks like this might be our longest one maybe. And then I can check for any typos. Doesn't look too bad. Let's stick some pictures in here. So I click on picture for my first person here, and I'm going to right click and say insert object. Remember we made that an object field. And then what kind of an object do we want? We're going to create it from a file. Oh, we're going to create it from a new. I guess we're creating from a new bitmap image, and then we'll say OK. So Paint has opened up. It asks us to click the paste button in Paint to display the paste menu, and we want to paste from a certain file. And now I'm going to go and find my pictures, and I'll be back. I'm navigated to my data files and then module 5, and this is Heidi Rivera. And so I'm going to put open, and there she is on my file. I click the file button and say exit and return to document. Don't panic that the picture is not there. We will see the picture when we are in form view. So this is just sort of like getting set up for things. We're going to go ahead and put in the other 3 pictures, same process. Click here, right click, insert object, bitmap image, it'll pop open Paint, and then we'll navigate to where our file is and put them in. So I'll meet you back here after we do that. In the middle of AC 247, the book tells you what order to put them in. So first we put in Heidi Rivera, then there is Mark Simpson, then Peter Liu, and then Karen Murkowski. So now we're going to add our attachments, which go over here in this extra notes field. You'll notice that currently in this database there aren't any attachments. That's what the 0 is for. So we'll right click and do manage attachments, and then we are going to add, and I'm going to navigate to where I need to go again. Oop, I moved the wrong thing here. So I went to my data files, and we're adding a Heidi Rivera accounts and Heidi Rivera potential accounts. To add them both at once, I hold my shift key down. I click on the first one, hold my shift key down, click on the second one. So you'll see that they're both being added here. Say open, and then OK. And now we have 2 files located right there. Again, we're going to right click, manage attachments, add, navigate to where the attachments are. And this, it opened up again in the same place where I just was, which is handy. And our second person is Mark Simson. So you have anything for Mark? Doesn't really look like it. So nothing for Mark. We have something for Peter. So I'll move down to the third record, manage attachments, add. It pops open to this place where I was, and it's Peter Lou potential accounts. We only have one file to add here, and then say okay. We have our one file attached here. We've done quite a bit of work here, so let's click our save button and we can close our table.